Hi my lovelies, my name is Mia and this is my channel Mia Maya Makeup. Now today we are going to be doing my everyday makeup look. This is going to be super simple and kind of more of on the natural side. I say natural with quotes around it because my version of everyday makeup might be different from your guys' version of everyday makeup and vice versa. Everybody has a certain preference on how they want to look when they walk out of the house. I prefer to look a little bit more glam and put together, and this is because I do work, and so I like to kind of look a little bit more presentable. But again, this is so completely different for everybody. If you want to change some steps or if you just want to completely do something else, that's up to you. But I wanted to bring this out to hopefully maybe help you guys figure out what you want to do with your everyday makeup. So if you want to keep on watching. Okay guys, so my first step in my everyday makeup is primer. I am walking around all day, I'm always on my feet, so I like to make sure I have a primer on so my makeup does stay a little bit better, and also so I don't look as shiny throughout the day. So I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Matte Stick. I love this, it's my favorite matte primer stick. I'm just going to put it on my nose and my forehead and a little bit under my eyes, and then a lot on my chin area, just like that. I'm gonna go tap it in with a beauty blender. This isn't like pore filling or anything, it's strictly just kind of a nice matte primer, but doesn't make your face look cakey, so I like it. Now we're gonna move on to a foundation. I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, the shade Porcelain. We are just going to apply that in certain areas. So I like to apply it in this area where I get a little more, where I have a little more redness in my acne spots, along with under my nose. I try to avoid my cheek area as much as I can with foundation. I do like to put a slight layer over top just so it doesn't look as red compared to the rest of my face, but I really do like my freckles, and so I like to kind of let them show through. Same with on my nose and my forehead, that's where most of my freckles are, so I try not to put as much foundation on there, but I do put a little bit of foundation on those areas just to try to cover up some of that redness and my acne spots. So no big deal there. And then I just like to take a beauty blender over my cheeks and that. I also don't always wear concealer or anything on my eyes. Sometimes I just put a slight little bit. I do have slight under eye problems today, so I think I'm going to put a little bit of concealer, but it's not something I do every day, especially not for work. Now again, not everybody applies foundation for everyday situations. I do, just because that's what I feel more comfortable doing. But if you don't want to wear foundation, then don't. Just put some concealer on, or don't do that. I don't care. It's kind of up to your preference. That's why I love your everyday makeup, because it can be so reversible. You don't have to do tons of steps, which I really do like. And I can do this. I've learned to do this in probably 10 minutes. It's so simple for me. I am going a little slower because I'm just filming. But I do have work later today though, so that will be fun. Well, at least the day that I'm filming this video. For all I know, the day this comes out, I could probably just be sleeping in bed. I never know, to be honest. I'm just using concealer and I'm putting it on some of the spots that I want a little more covered. Again, I really wear my mask so I don't have to do this, but again, I don't really care about changing at all. And then I'm going to put a little bit under the eyes here just so I can add some coverage. And I'm just going to go in with my finger and tap that out. Now, I did have another video planned, but I did not like the way it looked, and so I decided to quickly film this because the other one the camera wasn't right and I just wasn't happy with the makeup. So I decided to get rid of it. It is gone now and will never be seen again. I tried to salvage some of it and refilm, but then I was the whole video is pretty bad, so I'm just gonna completely trash it. I am just going with my finger and like tapping in wherever I had the concealer. And possibly going over it with my beauty blender. And now with my work, sometimes I'm inside, sometimes I'm outside. It kind of depends on what I'm doing that day. But hopefully eventually I can make this my work. That'd be amazing. But I'm a working girl. I like to work actually. I have to be busy. That's why I started this YouTube channel, because I like to be busy and I like to have a lot on my plate. I know that sounds crazy because most people are like, ew, why would you want that? But that's just me. I really do enjoy having a lot to do and having my days like filled with stuff. And that's just my preference. I know a lot of people like to be able to chill at home and all that jazz, but just not my thing. I've always been a busybody. I've always loved to do stuff. So I'm baking. Not really baking. I'm more just setting / baking. I'm baking, let's be real. But I do this because my face does get really oily. And I am walking around all day, so I do start sweating. I know it happens. So I do like to like bake and make sure my face is super set, especially where I wear my mask. Where you wear your mask, the makeup tends to sweat a lot more and get a lot more slippery and greasy, and that happens. Not greasy, oily, and that does happen. So I do make sure I bake. I just inhale powder where I have my mask sitting. And so now that I have my powder down, we're gonna move on to my eyebrows. Using my favorite thing that I use for my eyebrows, I'm gonna go in the Mary Kay liner in the shade Deep Brown. And we're just going to fill in my eyebrows. And I'm really kind of just using this as a line because it is so thin, so I'm just going to use this to kind of shape my eyebrows and to also fill in the little hairs up front. Now I do put a little more attention into my eyebrows and my eyes just because I really have to, I prefer to like, because these are what people are seeing all day, is to really make them look super bright and nice and very easy, because usually people, sorry, I'm blocking my face. Usually people see your eyes first, and that kind of judges how people see you, especially now. When you're not wearing your mask and you smile, my eyes close. Like, I have a really strong smile, so my eyes close a lot. But that just happens for me. So really my eyes show my like facial expression. And working with people all day, if they don't see you like your eyes express what you're doing, they can think you're like just totally not into it and not having a good day, and that just makes them not want to have a good day and not want to hang out and be at my place of work. So that's just not okay. And the people that come to my work are like older most of the time, and they're just so lovely. They're so funny. So they make me have a good day, so I want to make sure I allow them to have a good day and that I'm bright and positive and having fun, so that they have fun as well and that they want to come back and join me again. My dog's gonna start barking soon because there's tons of dogs barking outside. I don't know if you can hear that, but I just know my dog's gonna start barking soon because all those other dogs are barking. It's gonna happen, I'm calling it. Yep. Okay. Just when you think the dogs stop barking, my dog barks. I'm going to throw some hair gel over top my eyebrows so they stay in place. I do this pretty much every day just because I really want my eyes and my eyebrows and that to be the center of attention. I want people to see me and see the expression on my face. On to our next step, which is bronzer and blush. So I don't always bronzer. I'm not gonna bronzer today usually. that only happens if I'm like feeling super pale and super gross. But today I'm actually just going to apply blush. I do love blush. I think it's one of my favorite parts of makeup. I'm using Spice Poppy and Mary Kay. This is my favorite blush at the moment. It's so orange and reminds me of pumpkins and the holiday, and I take a little bit of both. I take a little bit of the highlight and the blush, and I just like to apply that to my cheeks. I'm also just going to brush off the bake goes under my eyes and try to get a little bit of the blush in that area as well, just so I look super rosy and super cheerful. Of 4 brushes and my beauty blender for my everyday makeup, I use my angled brush for like bronzer / blush. I use a like more flat powder brush for like my blush and to wipe off the excess. I use a complexion brush if I need. I don't even use this every day. Sometimes if I just need a little more coverage, I use a brush instead of my blender. And then I use a small little blending brush for my eyeshadow. But I'm using a Lancome little like travel quad, and I'm using the shade Plunge, which is like a kind of like red brown. And I'm just going to apply that in the crease. There's not a mirror in there. I'm just going to apply that in the crease. Okay. Alright guys, we are actually on my last step, which is mascara. I'm going to wipe this off, and I'm going to take my eyelash curler. I'm going to curl my lashes. Okay, now I'm just taking some LA Colors waterproof mascara. Now, I like using waterproof mascara for work just so it doesn't smudge throughout the day. Now, mascara is one of those things where I literally just don't leave the house. Mascara and brows, I do not leave the house without either of those. And I know that might sound crazy, but it's so true. And that is it. Sometimes I'll apply a lip balm, but because of wearing the masks, I don't like apply lip gloss or anything. If we weren't to wear masks, then yes, I would apply a lip product of some sort. Probably be like a gloss or a like tinted lip moisturizer or something. But I wear a mask and I don't want lip gloss getting all over my mask. So this is it, guys. This is the finished makeup look. This is also how I have to do my hair for work. You have to have your hair like pinned back, which is super nice because all I do is put a little hair gel up here, slick it back, and put it in a little bun. Something super easy, and I like leaving like little hairs out just because I think it looks cuter. But this is it for my makeup look. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to check out my other videos, I wouldn't say no. You should totally go do that. And you should also check me out on my Instagram at Nehemiah Makeup. If you guys should create looks for my other videos, make sure that you tag me on Instagram so I can see them and comment on them. Alright, until next time, my lovelies.